Before the powerful speaker's gavel is handed back to Republicans, before the session is even called to order, the blame game has begun over who will be at fault for everything that happens over the next 2 years.
It's their ship to run now. That's the responsibility. This is this is an adult game now.
Congress has had a big party the last 2 years. They couldn't spend enough money, and now they're standing back, folding their arms, saying, "Oh," taunting us to figure out how are you going to go ahead and solve this big spending crisis.
And government spending will be the first big test for this Congress. The debt clock in New York City spells out the problem. With every passing second, the amount the nation owes increases, currently around $14 trillion. The government is only allowed to borrow up to $14.3 trillion. If they want to borrow more, Congress has to approve raising the so-called debt ceiling. And some Republicans say they'll simply refuse, forcing Democrats to make deep spending cuts first.
I will not vote for the debt ceiling increase until I see a plan in place that will deal with our long-term debt obligations, starting with Social Security.
The Obama administration calls that move not just politics, but insanity.
If we hit the debt ceiling, that's the essentially defaulting on our obligations, which is totally unprecedented in American history. The impact on the economy would be catastrophic.
We know who you are and how you voted.
Moderate Republicans who may agree will face pressure from the right and newly empowered Tea Party politicians who are already challenging Republican leaders.
We've come to take our government back.
The next presidential race will also have an impact on policy decisions, even though the first votes won't be cast for more than a year. The election will be a constant thought in Washington daily.
Many politicians right now are thinking, well, we don't want Obama to get any victories. We don't want him to hit anything out of the park right now because it'll make it easier for him in 2012.
Republican leaders watching the calendar and the clock as they try to figure out what their party will stand for and at what cost. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.